like they like fucked around with his settings, and yeah, he was not pleased by this. Now, the video is like 22 minutes long, so I'm guessing it's not only about that, because I doubt Rev could talk about that for like 20 fucking minutes. But that's the headline for this particular one. So I'm guessing there's gonna be more to it. Yes, Bull Orphan, 100% correct there. Yeah, like running ads and not paying him for it. Yeah, so basically stealing money from streams. So let's get into this. I don't know how much is going to affect me because I have ads minimized as much as possible. Granted, I have not been paid for paid ads for a long time, but let's do it.
Hey, what's up, guys? Ruff here. So today we're going to be going over the slow-moving car crash that is known as Twitch.com. Over the past couple of months, even years, this platform has been on a serious decline, and there's been many different criticisms being launched against this platform, whether it's from their own security, their moderation, how they enforce their rules, so on and so forth. But don't worry, at the helm of this entire disaster has been their CEO, the top gooning cowboy, Dan Clancy, who's been doing everything in his power to make sure things get worse. And as Twitch tries to squeeze out as much money as possible...
Okay, well, actually, I should specify, to make things as bad as possible for the people that don't fit with his political and ideological beliefs. That needs to be specified. That Dan Clancy is making things worse for people who do not share in his political and ideological viewpoints. Because, again, I will remind you, he will punish people that don't stay in line with him. Thank you, Inquisitor. I got to turn this off. I forgot. Yeah, for those that don't follow how he thinks, he'll punish you severely. If you do follow the way he thinks, you can basically do whatever the fuck you want. Hassan, amongst others. Like Hassan, Mike from PA, Denims, Frogan, everyone within that little inner circle, fucking all the LA streamers, they can pretty much do whatever the fuck they want. But if you don't fit into that tiny little bucket, you're fucked. And that includes people like Emeru. Leave us not forget, Twitch royally fucked over Emeru with what happened at TwitchCon. They screwed her over so fucking bad, it's insane. And for those of you that are new and don't know what happened, Emeru got number one, Emeru was forced by Twitch to do a meet and greet at the last TwitchCon in order for her to have a show that she did at TwitchCon. It was like a cosplay show. So in order for her to be able to hold her cosplay show, she had to do a meet and greet. And at that meet and greet, she was sexually assaulted. A guy just bypassed everybody, walked up, grabbed her, and tried to kiss her. Until she's managed to scream and a security person shoved the guy away. And then, instead of getting grabbed up by security and escorted to the police where he could be arrested and taken away, everybody just did nothing, and this guy fucked off and left TwitchCon. Completely unstopped. Nobody stopped him. He was gone for hours. It was only much, much later that finally he got arrested, and before then, Twitch was doing everything in their power not to cooperate with police. Twitch would not cooperate with the police. Nobody from Twitch checked on Emeru. Nobody from Twitch checked on any of the other personalities that were doing meet and greets. Twitch basically just went completely fucking hands off. Yes, it was her own security, and not the one that she wanted to bring along, by the way. She had to choose a different security because Twitch banned the security person that she liked because he was doing his job. So, even big streamers like Emmy are not safe from Gunnar Clancy fucking off and doing whatever the hell he wants. Now, if replace Emeru with anybody from Hassan's orbit or Cutie Cinderella or Extra Emily or Cinna or actually maybe not Cinna, but like all of the people that are part of like the LA streamer crowd, had that happened to anyone from the LA streamer crowd, Dan Clancy would have personally been on the case talking to the LAPD and organizing a fucking manhunt for whomever did it. But because it's Emmy, who doesn't suck up to Dan, they were just like, fuck it, we don't care. And just and did absolutely everything wrong because they don't fucking care unless you're part of the in crowd.
We're seeing a lot of scenarios that we're going to cover today where people like Asmongold are seeming.
Yeah, I should note that, Atanasi. Thank you. Yeah, Dan Clancy actually blamed Demaru for getting attacked. In an interview with goddamn Taylor Lorenz, who was wearing a fucking mask for some reason. I don't know why, but ignoring that. Dan Clancy actually said, well, you know, when these streamers put themselves out there, there is a risk, ignoring the fact that he forced Emaru to put herself out there because he would not allow her to do her show if she didn't do a meet and greet. So Dan Clancy is literally a victim blamer for sexual assault victims. He will literally blame the victim who is sexually assaulted. That's the kind of man Dan Clancy is, everyone. Just so you know.
A lot of scenarios that we're going to cover today where people like Asmongold are seemingly getting stolen from. We're also going to see some view botting issues, among other greedy practices by Twitch. But when it comes to the streamer awards that we talked about yesterday, hey, a lot of jokes didn't land, but this one did.
Dan Clancy is here, which is really nice because I kind of see Dan as a father figure. And just like my real dad, he spends way too much time online hitting on my friends.
So what makes this joke a joke is the fact that it's just an observation that Cutie Cinderella or anyone familiar with Twitch has made already. Like, this is the CEO of Twitch they're talking about. This is supposed to be the...
Okay, side tangent. What the fuck is Cutie Cinderella wearing? This is like completely side, but this is completely off topic. I know you're shocked. What is she wearing? This is supposed to be a streamer award. We're supposed to be it's not a dress, that's a jacket. I think she's wearing like a jacket and I think shorts. This is like a jacket that buttons up down here that is completely open. This is supposed to be like an award show that is supposed to be like honoring the streamer, supposedly, and like she's basically out here just showing off her tits. Like this is just way off topic, but like I noticed this like the other day when I saw the clips of her and I forgot to say something till now. It's like, what is with this whore like behavior? Wearing a sport coat, like taping open like this. Seriously, what is up with that? Anyway, thank you, Kenito.
To be the hub of streaming. This is the captain of the ship, and he's most known for, a married man in his 60s, for going after women a third of his age. He has an e-girl addiction. We've seen this time and time again, and that is his top priority. It's not doing anything with the platform. It's not watching over the moderation teams. It's not about enforcing rules properly. It's about chasing after e-girls. But recently, he's been making some...
I tweeted about this. I fucking tweeted about this. No. The Senate couldn't bother. The Senate's like, oh, we have to work out scheduling with all of these CEOs for these various companies that have problems on their platform. Yet for some reason, he's able to take private meetings with this congresswoman. Huh? Well, if he has time to go to Washington, D.C. and meet with a congresswoman one-on-one, why the fuck can't he go up in front of the Congressional Oversight Committee? Or the Senate Oversight Committee? What the fuck? Like, this is at the point, the Oversight Committee needs to take one look at this, go, cool, we're not doing scheduling anymore. Your ass is getting subpoenaed to come talk to us. fuck the scheduling thing now. The oversight committee needs to start issuing fucking subpoenas. Yeah, Adzunashi, I'm worried that it's not going to happen either. Legitimately, like, we haven't heard fuck all. I legit don't think it's going to happen anymore. I think that the Senate basically did it as a gesture. Like, to say, like, oh, yeah, we actually give a fuck, and we want people to talk to us. And the CEOs went, well, it doesn't really work for our schedule. And because the Senate never really had any intention, at this point, it seems like the Senate never had any intention of actually, like, pressing them or anything. And so they went, oh, it's a scheduling problem? Okay, we'll figure it out later. And they're going to forget about it. When in reality, they need to subpoena his ass and haul his ass in front of the oversight committee or some other fucking oversight committee and demand to know why he is allowing dangerous people to stream on his platform with zero punishment. That needs to fucking happen. They need to some of these senators or Congress people need to actually start issuing fucking subpoenas. They need to pull their heads out of their ass and actually do their fucking job for once.
Efforts to, I guess, rehabilitate the image of Twitch. And we've heard about some potential meetings with Congress over the past couple of months, and he has done just that by meeting with this congresswoman who...
What? Congressional Creators Caucus. Am I to understand that they're trying to create a caucus specifically regarding content creation? Really? What kind of bullshit caucus is that going to be, I wonder? Is this going to be a caucus full of a bunch of like 80-year-old farts who don't actually understand how the fuck the technology works in the first place? Because that's what we're going to get. Because we don't have anybody in Congress that actually knows how the fuck the world works and how modern technology works. So this is going to be a fucking joke.
Obviously, is not an e-girl, so she's not in any sort of danger here. But yeah, apparently there was an amazing conversation. And before we look into some other things, I think there's some irony seeing this poster commemorating the life of Charlie Kirk right over his shoulder, because in the days and weeks after his brutal assassination, there were a lot of streamers, including prominent streamers on the platform, either celebrating the assassination or encouraging related political violence, and all of them received absolutely no punishment whatsoever. But of course, they say, oh, the booming creator economy on places like Twitch. Twitch isn't even profitable for its parent company, Amazon. It hasn't even turned a profit because their leadership and their infrastructure is so disorganized and just downright terrible. But there's some other concerns. In fact, there's a lot of concerns about Twitch trying to squeeze out every penny at this point, and it's led to a lot of very real concerns. We'll begin with Asmongold, who is the face of Twitch, or one of the faces, despite a lot of the people in charge of the platform wanting nothing to do with him. But there's been a very disturbing situation where Asmongold discovered that Twitch is running ads secretly on his channel without his knowledge, and they're the ones collecting all the revenue.
Ad time per hour, 7 seconds. Oh my God. So they cutting down, now I'm not getting, I don't get any fucking money. So they spam ads on my channel.
Like, I've been hang on, I'll pull mine up too. Hang on, I'll pull mine up too. Hang on, let me pull this up. Like, I have a question. How many of you guys are getting ads on my channel? Okay? How many of you guys, actually get ads when you're on my channel? I know, most of you guys are subbed, but on Twitch, how many that have been on my channel that before you got gifted a sub, saw ads? Because I'm getting nothing. 0 ads. I'm getting 0 ads. Wait, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And I know I've had people that come into stream that are not subscribed. We had 2 raids, and I know everyone is not subscribed that came in on the raids. You did for quite a while sometime early on. Yeah, TX, when's the last time you saw an ad on my channel? Well, like, you are not currently subscribed. When is the last time you saw an ad on my channel? Out of curiosity. Because I have received $0 for ads in the last 30 days. You can't guess you have turbo. Fair enough, Heckle. That's fair enough. You did before you saw. Okay, well, that was a while ago, believer. Never? Okay. Which, that's good. That TX, that's good that you didn't get ads. Because the way I've set up my ad revenue is I eliminated it as best I could. When I set up my ads, I do not have ad schedule, so no schedule. I have it how many ads per hour? I have it as low as humanly possible. Ad length, I have it at manual. Disable pre-rolls. No notifications, no stream display ads. I killed as much of the ads as possible. Because I don't make any, even when I had ads running, I didn't make fuck all. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to try and make this as ad-free as possible because I don't make any money from it. And I would much rather people enjoy themselves ad-free, even if I don't make money from the ads. It's more important that you guys have fun and don't get inundated with ads than me earning $5 off of ads. G-Roffs, okay, so for me, it's like it is as designed. Now, I have no idea if, I have no idea about Asma. I think Asmongold has got it set about the same way. He has it like as minimized as possible. But apparently, they're running ads on his stream. You can see he's got like 7 seconds of ads there for, I guess, I don't know, maybe it's Tuesday, I don't know. But he's had 7 seconds of ads, but apparently they're running more and Twitch is keeping all of the profit. They're not giving Asmongold any of the ad revenue. They're keeping it all. Because they hate Asmongold. Let's not fuck with it. Yeah, it's true. You get more ads you get less ads running on the mature label, which I'm fine with. And Garrett, no, it's not. I'm pretty sure that's not legal. If they ran ads on his stream and they didn't do revenue share like they're supposed to, then pretty sure that would be illegal. Pretty sure.
They're running ads on my shit, and I don't even get any money. Crazy, you don't get turbo too? I don't get turbo. I don't get anything.
Yeah, this is an incredibly scummy...
Oh! Hey! Actually, let me see. Am I getting anything on turbo? Hang on. I have gotten $0 fucking dollars for turbo. Absolutely $0 on turbo. $0 on ads, $0 on turbo. None of it. Absolutely none of it. Yep. I have not received a single dime from either ads or turbo.
And potentially a lawsuit-worthy type of action here by Twitch.
Well,
this
yes,
is very
that
scummy.
I am.
Okay, this guy makes you a lot of money and has made you a lot of money. And people have talked about him turning off his sub buttons and trying to not monetize his platform. But at the end of the day, he's been one of the biggest conduits for people coming to the platform in the first place. A lot of people, millions of people never...
Yeah, and Rudy, a lot of streamers will do ads, like a 3-minute ad break every hour or something. Because, yeah, it's actually, you say it's to disable the pre-rolls. Let me show you something. Let me see if it's still there. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, because they do a recommended. Let me pull this up really quick. They have like recommended. So when you do ads, they have a recommended for what Twitch recommends you do. Once upon a time, that was down here at like 3 minutes was the recommended. Probably about like last year. Last year, they had 3 minutes as the recommended. Look where the recommended is now. Now they're recommending I run 7 minutes of ads per hour. This is the recommended by Twitch now. 7 minutes of ads per hour is what they recommend. And supposedly, you have to run 3 minutes of mid-roll ads per hour during the stream to fully disable pre-roll ads. That never happened. That never fucking happened. When I set it to 3 minutes, specifically so I could disable pre-rolls, I still got pre-rolls. Every fucking time. Every fucking time I said, like, every time I had it set to 3 minutes specifically to disable the pre-roll ads for incoming viewers, it never worked. I had people come into my stream and going, I'm getting pre-rolls, and I'm like, wait a minute. Like, people would say that, and I would stop and go, what? You shouldn't be getting pre-rolls. I actually had it set to 3 minutes so you would not get pre-rolls. But Twitch was still running pre-roll ads on my stream, even when I had set it to 3 minutes of ads per hour, specifically to disable pre-rolls. And Twitch said, fuck you, we're still running pre-roll ads. So how many of those did I not get paid for? Because again, I have not run jack shit on ads since I started streaming. So how often was Twitch running pre-roll ads in my stream that I didn't get paid for? I wonder. I mean, that's possible, Desdar, but this was like during at multiple points during the stream. And I'm pretty sure a pre-roll, and I'm pretty sure I did not, when they came in, I have my little counter in my activity feed showing like pre-rolls. And it almost looks like you had to manually disable the pre-rolls. So it's not like it's not like the pre-rolls themselves were fully disabled. If you had 3 minutes, you had to manually engage that pre-roll ads would not be enabled. Like, it was like it was something like, let me see if I can remember how OBS was showing it. It was something like every hour, you had something like 3 minutes of pre-roll ads being disabled. So it's not like if you had ads set to 3 minutes, you didn't have any pre-rolls for your stream. It was like every hour you would get 3 minutes of no pre-rolls or something like that. It's just, Twitch is just being completely scummy when it comes to the ad revenue because they're desperate for money. They're desperate for money. They're trying to make the majority of their company's income come from ads, and they're desperate for end of year, which is why they tried to do that 1,000 gifted sub thing. Yeah, I've got the same thing. I've got mine turned out all the way to 30 seconds and disable like the side load ads and everything. But they're desperate to make money. So that's why they increased the recommended to 7 minutes, and why for a brief moment in time they had that, oh, you can purchase 1,000 gifted subs in a stream. That lasted for 1 day. That you could actually buy 1,000 gifted subs on Twitch. Because the day it happened, Asmongold actually said on his stream, anybody that buys 1,000 gifted subs will get an instantaneous ban. He flat out said, he said, in my stream, if anybody buys 1,000 gifted subs in my stream, you will be banned instantaneously. Because the implication there is, if you buy 1,000 subs, you can, there's this unspoken thing of you can lord that over the streamer and tell them, hey, I just spent thousands of dollars on you. Do something that I want you to do. And that's why he was like, anybody that does that, you're getting an instantaneous ban.
for people coming to the platform in the first place. A lot of people, millions of people, never would have gone to Twitch in the first place if it wasn't for Asmongold. But looking at the comments here, you see this is the classic YouTube move. Content creator doesn't run ads. YouTube runs ads anyway, but don't credit the creator, which, yeah, they took this out of the page of YouTube here. Because YouTube does this. They, in fact, add advertisements on top of your advertisements in many cases. And a lot of people who don't want to run ads, well, they get automated ads anyways. And you can see here, pretty sure that's called fraud. For the millionth time, Twitch won't course correct till they are sued. It's a game to see how far they can take it till they are.
This is what I've said. Twitch will not change until you seriously hit them in the bank account. They will not fucking care until it actually hurts them on a financial level. You want to get a company to sit up and pay attention, you hit them in the wallet, because that's all they give a fuck about it. Either that or, you start a criminal fraud investigation and start putting people in cuffs. One or the other. It's going to take one or the other.
Which is kind of interesting because I think, I don't even know if they're just trying to push limits. I think they've pushed beyond the barriers at this point, and I think it's just incompetence in general. Incompetence and greed.
No.
And just think.
I know, I'm going to disagree. It's not competence. I don't agree with that whatsoever. I think this is deliberate. I 100% think that this is deliberate on Twitch's part because they are desperate for money. They are that's why they've upped the recommended ad amounts to 7 minutes per hour, because they want 60% of the company's revenue to come from ads. That's why they added the 1,000 gifted subs, because they want money. It was a last ditch end of the year effort to try and get more money. This is not incompetence. This is intentional. They're hoping that they can slip it by people so they can make some profits without people figuring out or people noticing. That's what it is. 100%, that's what it is.
Thinking they can get away with anything at this point. Like, they've gone beyond the boundaries they probably wanted to push in the first.
By the way, if on my Twitch chat, if for some reason you are the one individual who is not subscribed to my channel, if you get an ad, tell me. Tell me if you get an ad, because I'm really curious if it'll pop up in my metrics, because I bet it won't.
First place. But it would be very interesting to see someone sue Twitch. Would Asmongold be the person to do that? I don't know. I don't know if he wants to go through the stress. He doesn't need the money. It's more just out of principle, and he's offered to
Amazon has been running
fund
Twitch
people's lawsuits that
Brevin.
are grounded in principle for him. Like, he's not going to get an actual return on anything. He just wants to help out something purely on principle. So who knows? Who knows if anything's going to happen, but Twitch might have bigger concerns, as people point out here. By definition, this looks like embezzlement. But there's a lot of other issues for Twitch. And it has to do with view botting. We've talked about this before. It's not a secret whatsoever among content creators. Botting is a massive issue on Twitch.
It is.
And pretty much every streaming platform, but definitely Twitch, where this stuff's been going on, and it's been rampant for years, and they've done nothing. They made their first stab at dealing with this issue back in August of this year, and it went too far, banning lurkers or not counting their views, but those efforts resulted in a 24% reduction of views across the platform. And I'll tell you this, it should be way higher. Like, that was only taking a tiny chunk of what's actually being botted over on Twitch. In fact, there's plenty of examples of very popular streamers who have 10, 20, 30,000 viewers where their actual audience maybe is 10% of that. It's shameless. You can tell. Just look at their chat. Their chat's barely moving.
And on the flip side, they're now not counting lurkers as viewers. So they're not getting, the lurkers are not getting nuked, but they're not counting the lurkers as viewers. So, you know, someone may show they only have like 10 people in their stream, when in reality, they have 54. So they're still counting fewer viewers for a stream if there are lurkers. And yeah, I've got to set up something in I've got to set up something for channel points where it's like, you know, you can do an engagement channel point thing on Twitch. I don't know if I can really do one on Kick. On Kick, you just gotta basically just go hi and or send an email or something. It'd be fine. Actually, I don't even know if emails will count. But yeah, it's just Twitch is playing fuck around with everything. They're doing everything they can to fuck over the majority of streamers, except for the ones that they like. Excuse me, the ones that they like, they won't do this to. The ones that they don't like, they will not. So Twitch is saying I have under 56. Hang on, I can tell you how many I got. Hang on. So yeah, apparently, like yeah, Twitch is saying I have under 56 according to the the extension I installed that shows the real view count. I actually have 162. So there's an additional like 6 or 7 lurkers that Twitch is not counting. So it's close, but it's still not accurate because they're not counting the lurkers. I forget what it's called, Revan. Hang on. Let's see. It's called I believe it's Enhancer. I believe that's the one. I believe what it's called. I believe it's called Enhancer. Is the extension you can install in your browser, and it'll show what Twitch is counting as views, and then in parentheses it will show the actual view count, including the lurkers.
The number of people actively watching their stream is always consistent. That is just not natural patterns for streaming. But of course, for them, it's an investment. They invest X amount
one engagement per hour,
into
yard dog.
botting, and they get X amount in return.
Yes. And yes, Zeb, I've seen that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I need to create like a 1-point channel point thing where people can just engage it and say lurking. Like you guys are doing the thing where you use the bot where you just say lurking and it'll trigger something. I do need to do like a channel point thing for that for sure.
X amounts into botting, and they get X amount in return through advertisements, and also just creating a image that their stream is really popping and interesting, so people want to check it out because that is a high view count, and that is something that Soda Poppin' has recently talked about.
Rule of thumb, if they're getting like 10,000 viewers, they're getting $10,000 an hour. 20,000 viewers, $20K an hour. That's
Jesus.
actually, it has like somewhat of a cap. It starts to taper off, but yeah. Like I'm praying for the day sponsors know how to look at view botting. Oh, that's gonna make me so happy. I hope streamers get sued for fraud. Because, you know, view botting is one thing.
That would be fun.
Cloth helmet? Don't mind if I do. But worse than view botting is view botting and then taking a sponsor and getting paid a rate based on your view bots.
Yeah.
Like some court cases. I want to see more streamers losing their houses.
The streamers that are gaming the system to make money by botting and what have you, yeah, they need to start getting bitch slapped. All these streamers that have like thousands of view bots in there to bolster their stream, and they go and they get a sponsor, like look how many viewers I have, and they're botting all of it, and they're making bank over from these sponsors because of view botted streams. Yeah. They need to get sued. The sponsors need this. If the sponsors can discover this, they need to sue them. Absolutely. The only way you're going to correct this bad behavior is if you hit them in an area that they care about. And let's face it, the streamers care about their wallets. That's what the majority of these streamers, they don't care about their reputation. They don't care about getting a finger wagged at them. They care if you hit them in the bank account. That's how it works for the majority of people these days. Excuse me. The majority of people, especially in the streaming space, do not fucking care unless you hit them in the wallet. All of the bad behavior you're seeing on stream, like where people catch like bans, like it's like a day ban, a week ban, whatever, they come back. We've seen it. Hi, Nina Lynn, where they get banned for a day, a week, whatever. And they come back laughing about it, go, I don't fucking care, and they go right back to the same behavior. Why? Because they actually didn't get hurt financially. There was no financial punishment for them. Yes, she is still banned, Garrett. So those of you so for people on Twitter that voted for 24 and 48 hours in my little poll, sorry, I lost. She's still banned. We'll see for how long, though. But the only way to correct this behavior is if you hit him in the bank account. This piss-poor criminal behavior will not stop unless you actually affect them in a way they actually care about. And for streamers like this, they care about money. That's all they give a fuck about. For streamers of this ilk, they only care about money. They won't change their behavior unless you actually hit that pressure point. You don't do that, it's going to be the same thing over and over and over again. Nina Lynn proved that. She caught a week ban. She caught a day ban, and then as soon as that day ban was over, she caught a week ban. And she made a joke about it the whole time. She came back laughing about it. Why? Because she didn't actually get punished. She had a vacation. She got a week-long vacation. She came back. She went right back to her shitty thug, criminal behavior. She caught another ban. Let's see how long that lasts. But until you actually start hitting her in the wallet, she's not going to give a fuck. Because she knows she can just game the system, ride the system out, and she won't care. Because she's still making money. That's what it all boils down to. And thank you for the tier 3, J10. Thank you very much.
I really want to see it all burn.
Yeah, everyone knows there's a huge view botting problem on Twitch, and it trickles down to people who are innocent. That is the big issue, one of the most frustrating things.
Yes.
It's not just that these people who are view botting are personally gaining stuff, they're ruining it for everyone else, because these advertisers see a person with 20,000 viewers who really only has 1,000, and they say, wow, 20,000 viewers will give you X amount for an advertisement or a sponsorship. And then they get no return on their investment.
Yep.
So then when a real streamer with, let's say, 10,000 real viewers wants to get a sponsorship, they get punished because they think, oh, you have half of that guy who had 20,000 who didn't give us a good return on our investment, so we're not going to give you an offer anywhere near his. Even though that person with 10,000 is going to make them a much higher return on their investment because their audience is actually real. But there's something else going on here, where people like Stable Ronaldo from FaZe is claiming that he met with Twitch and a RICO is coming.
Really?
This is basically organized crime. They're viewing the platform of Twitch.
Okay. I take this with a very hefty grain of salt. Okay? Stable Ronaldo is not a cop. All right? Yeah, everybody's like hearing this and is going to go, yeah, RICO case, let's fucking go. Hold up. Hold up. Look at your source. This is coming from Stable Ronaldo. How heavily is he involved in the criminal justice sphere? Why would Stable Ronaldo have info regarding a federal criminal investigation? How could he possibly know that there's a RICO case being built up against Twitch? Cave Spider, RICO is basically, it's a federal investigation into organized corruption. It is essentially speaking an organized corruption case. I'm trying to remember the specific details of it. It's been a while since I've actually looked at RICO. RICO is basically what law enforcement used against the mob to bring down the mob. That's how they brought down the mafia, is they used the RICO case. Yeah, it's like racketeering, organized crime. So how the hell does he know, though? How in the world would he know about a RICO case being built? He's not a cop. He's not in the criminal justice sphere. So I take him saying that there's a RICO case being built up, and I take it with a very hefty grain of salt. Well, Revan, I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. Like, now, is it possible that Stable Ronaldo is doing a big deal of speculation? Yes. Maybe he is speculating based on what he has observed with Twitch and thinking it would make sense that a RICO case is being built. I do currently have my doubts that he definitively knows that there is a RICO case being built. No, Inquisitor, no, his lawyer cannot find out. When a law enforcement agency builds a RICO case, they're not telling people. Okay, just like with any criminal investigation, and especially with a RICO case, they're keeping that information close to their chest. They're not letting anybody know about that, because the minute they let someone know about it, the people that are the targets of this investigation can try and start covering things up, getting rid of evidence, etc., etc. Stuff like this is kept very closely under wraps. It's not broadcast. There's no leakers. It's basically the team knows about it, and that's it. So that's why I have my doubts that Stable Ronaldo knows that a RICO case is being built.
As organized crime in their function, that there's so much fraud going on here between the streamers and the owners of the platform, it might develop into a RICO case, according to this guy.
What happened to my Twitch meeting today? So I did have a Twitch meeting today. I talked to Twitch about view botting. I talked to Twitch about ad money. I talked to Twitch about all that. By the way, they are, from what I'm understanding, there's going to be something that comes out soon. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to oversay what I was told. But I suggest if you do viewbot to stop, because there might be, you might get a lawsuit. I don't know. Let's just say there's RICOs being built. I didn't even know this. But
No. I'm calling bullshit. Yeah, this is all, I'm calling 100% bullshit on this. There's no fucking way, if a RICO case is being built against Twitch, number one, Twitch wouldn't know about it. That's number one. Twitch would not know there's a RICO case being built against them. And why would Twitch tell him in a meeting that he had with them, oh, there's a RICO case being built against the ViewBot? Why the fuck would they tell him about that? The simple answer is they wouldn't. And by the way, like, why would a RICO case be being built against the ViewBotters? That doesn't really make sense. RICO is for organized crime, not for streamers that ViewBot. Like, trying to build a RICO case against a streamer that ViewBots is basically like dropping a nuke on an ant. It makes no fucking sense. Well, I mean, Inquisitor, it's like, it still doesn't make sense to build a RICO case. The fact that I'm guessing he caught that buzzword from somewhere and is spewing out that buzzword. And that's why, like, I don't know if he heard it somewhere, maybe he saw fucking Dark Knight or something and heard that word. I'm sorry, I'm extra doubting that he had a meeting with Twitch, and Twitch told him that there is a federal investigation into organized crime being worked on right now in regards to viewbotting, especially because Twitch would be part of that investigation. It's not like they would only go after the viewbotters. They'd also be investigating Twitch to see how much Twitch is allowing on this. So, I'm sorry, I'm seriously doubting this. Especially coming from him, where he's like, I had a meeting with Twitch, and they told me no. Because even if Twitch was not the target of a RICO, Twitch would, okay, let's go on the assumption that Twitch is not the target of a RICO investigation. for sake of example, let's pretend Twitch is not a target of this RICO investigation that he's talking about. The level of a shitstorm that would be brought down on Twitch's head for sharing information about an ongoing investigation with a fucking streamer who then broadcasts it on the platform would be massive. Any law enforcement agency that's conducting this kind of investigation, the moment they find out they're sharing this with a streamer who is then broadcasting it on their platform, you would have investigators kicking down the fucking doors of Twitch going, what the fuck? You just blew up our entire investigation by leaking it to a streamer who just told the fucking world. That alone has me calling bullshit on this. That Twitch would leak this investigation to a streamer whom they know would broadcast it all over their platform. So yeah, he's fucking lying. He's trying to sound like he knows what the fuck he's doing. He's trying to basically generate drama for clicks, views, subs, and bits. That's what he's doing. He does not know what the fuck he's talking about. Twitch never told him there's a case being built. Maybe they said something like, we're going to be taking steps to go after view botters. I'll give him that. Maybe Twitch said, we're going to be starting to take new steps towards going after people that do view botting. I'll give it that. And then he basically decided to sound like he knows what the fuck he's talking about when he doesn't, and said, there's RICOs being built. Because I heard that buzzword and I want to sound like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I want to sound like I know what's happening in the legal zeitgeist. That's it. He's full of shit. If there's a RICO case being built, she wouldn't know about it. None whatsoever. He's trying to create drama. He's full of shit. Bottom line.
I'm pretty sure there's some RICOs being built right now against people, and they're gonna. Hey man, they're smart. Twitch is pretty smart. Yeah, you'll see soon. I don't know. I'm not gonna say nothing now.
Whether he's telling the truth or not, I think the result is the same. He's scaring people, and I think that's awesome. Scare these view botters because they don't deserve to sit around and live without any fear of consequence because they're ruining it for everyone. They're ruining the experience on the platform, not just for viewers, but for other content creators as well. If he's making this up, if he's saying this RICO thing and it's completely made up,
he is making it up. Yeah, like the last part. Twitch is pretty smart. There's no more proof that he's making it up. Saying Twitch is pretty smart. Twitch has been pulling some of the most boneheaded, brainless moves for years. And he's gonna say Twitch is smart? Now. You're full of shit, dude.
It still might scare people into stopping their actions and stopping view botting.
Yeah, believer, absolutely.
But if he's telling the truth, they should be very, 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 very nervous. Because there's people who've been doing this habitually for years and years and years. And it's obvious that Twitch knows that this stuff is going on. There's no way that they don't.
Yeah.
But let's move on to another...
Which is why, if a RICO case was being built, it would be not only against the botters, it would be against Twitch itself, because Twitch knows it's happening and they're not actually doing anything about it. And there's no way that they would tell him about it. And I'm going to be done talking about it because I've talked about it ad nauseum. Bottom line, Ronaldo is full of shit. And he's just trying to sound like he knows what he's talking about.
Parts of today's video. Dan Clancy, the top gooner, is doing his best to try to steer this ship towards more money. He's going for another TwitchCon, ladies and gentlemen, because apparently TwitchCon 2025 and really the previous ones as well were not a sign strong enough to tell people like Dan Clancy, maybe it's time to pack up this event. You know, maybe it was time to pack this up, especially after the SA situation with Emiru live on TwitchCon, where the security response was an absolute joke. This was a scenario where Dan Clancy got a very rare double notes on Twitter, trying to quote-unquote...
Jack, because they want money. Twitch makes money from TwitchCon, from ticket sales. They take a cut of the profits from the merch sales that occur during TwitchCon. I don't know if there's a they get a cut of the food and beverage sales. They get a cut of everything at TwitchCon. It's about money. That's why they're going to keep trying to push this so they can make money. The question is, how many people are actually going to show up to it? Because I've already, like, the moment they made the announcement, I immediately made my own announcement, retweeting that tweet and saying, do not fucking go for your own safety. Don't go to TwitchCon, because Twitch does not care. They do not have your safety in mind. The safest thing you can do as a streamer is don't go for your own safety. It's not worth you getting assaulted because Twitch is too fucking incompetent to run a decent TwitchCon. It's not worth you having your fan gifts stolen. It's not worth people getting hurt. Don't go. I said that as soon as the announcement was made.
Take responsibility for what happened. And spoiler, as we covered previously, this was a complete non-response. It was trying to gaslight people. It's an absolute joke. In fact, there was a lot of testimonies out there that claimed that Dan Clancy, the night that the essay to Emiru happened, he was out partying with a bunch of e-girls, which is not surprising.
And that's why
given
he's
the
having
fact
TwitchCon.
This is what this dude's phone looks like.
That's why he's having TwitchCon 2026. So he can get the young e-thots there and he can go party with them. Because you will, even if they don't get their big headliners and their big headliners go, yeah, I'm not doing TwitchCon. Hemmer has already said she will never do another TwitchCon again. And that was one of the biggest names they could have had there. They will still get the e-thots out there. And he wants to just party with the e-thots. He wants to party with the young, hot girls that are small-time streamers. And he can use his power and influence to party with them. That's it.
I play this clip any chance I get. This is the For You page of Twitch CEO Dan Clancy. Let this show you where his priorities are at.
Explore clips.
That's very nice.
And now you have a clips feed. Okay?
E-thought.
Suppose you want to check out the stories to see what you missed
e-thought's
yesterday.
up at the top.
You click there. And now you're in your
E-thought.
stories feed.
E-thought.
Okay.
Every whole
So
last
what do you
rules
do
galore.
after a disastrous TwitchCon 2025 filled with immense controversy and controversy you've never properly addressed? What do? You announced TwitchCon 2026. Now you might be confused. Rev, didn't they just end TwitchCon 2025? Yes, you'd be correct. And they're already announcing next year's, including the San Diego location, which is going to be in November. Which, by the way, November 13th through the 15th, that is a terrible time to schedule a convention. It's right around Thanksgiving. And the ticket prices for airlines are going to be insane. But anyways, you can see the roundup of content creators being probably forcibly put into this compilation. And there's a lot of funny observations. Number one, they begin with Iron Mouse. It's literally the first image. Now, what's the deal here? Well,
because Mousy is one of their most marketable streamers. That's what the deal is. Iron Mouse is, without a doubt, one of the biggest marketable streamers that they've got. Because she's insanely popular, she's adorable as hell, she's talented, and she's sweet and kind. And so they're going to try and exploit her every opportunity they have. Yeah, she is basically an idol. That's exactly right.
At TwitchCon 2025, the TwitchCon staff allegedly threw away gifts from VTuber fans, including gifts that were left for people like Iron Mouse. And my theory on this is that at the minimum, they were completely reckless throwing this stuff away, and it's completely inexcusable. At the maximum, they might have taken the gifts, which is something that...
Ralph, No, Twitch likes Mousy because Mousy actually brings them in a lot of revenue. They don't like others. They don't like other VTubers. Basically, if you're a VTuber that doesn't make them buckets of money, no, they truly hate you. They tolerate Mousy because she makes them tons of money with ad revenue. That's why they are constantly trying to promote her, because she's the most famous VTuber that they have. She is one of the most famous VTubers in the world. And because of that, she could be a face for the platform because everybody knows her, everybody loves her. And so they can basically plaster her face everywhere and go, look, Mousy's on our platform. She's the most popular VTuber in the world, and she streams exclusively on our platform. Doesn't that make us great? And yeah, I heard that, yeah, like that Mousy's Madra was able to get most of the gifts. And also all of the VTubers that were part of GamerSups, that are affiliated with GamerSups, their gifts were also secure too, because GamerSups actually did what Twitch refused to do, and actually preserved and saved all of their partnered content creators' gifts. So GamerSups, a sponsor, took care of the streamers better than Twitch did in terms of the gifts. Because I remember Cotton put out a message. Cotton said something about that GamerSups made sure all of her gifts were taken care of and secure, and none of her fan gifts got thrown out because GamerSups took care of her.
A lot of big streamers have alleged has happened to other people in the past, and there was also situations where VTubers were being forced to reveal their face in order to get into the convention. Complete disaster for VTubers, but that's what you expect in terms of treatment from Twitch at this point. And also, of course, Dan Clancy's Queen, Extra Emily, was given a feature right at the end because, of course, that is Dan Clancy's favorite streamer on the entire platform, which is funny to see that. But here's some of the comments, and they're just brutal. Does it include sexual or essay? You guys have not permabanned someone who happily does it live on camera, referring to Nina Lynn, while also not having security to stop it. Can't wait to see who gets essayed due to dog stuff management.
They are never going to live this down.
Does getting assaulted come with a ticket, or is that a
Twitch
separate
is never
going
to live this down.
And there's some comments here about EU. I don't know how many people care about the EU section, but sorry, I'll skip TwitchCon again for Dokomi. Now, that is another convention that apparently is the same weekend this year, or in 2026. And it's the biggest, one of the biggest anime conventions in Europe, with lots of gorgeous art, events, concerts, Japanese food, and more. Need you say more? That already sounds more fun. It also sounds more safe. That is for sure. Pretty much anything sounds more safe. Like, you'd be safer going to a convention with a ball pit filled with alligators than it would be going to Twitch.
They are just a standard Twitch ball pit that can cause you irrevocable damage to your spinal column when you fall into it, and there's only literally an inch of cushioning underneath a concrete pad, and you basically snap your spine. Yes, that actually happened at TwitchCon a few years ago. That someone was like doing like a jousting thing on a beam over like a ball pit, fell into the ball pit thinking that it was like deep, that the ball pit was deep and cushioned, and there was literally just like an inch, and like landed on her ass, or it was a foam pit. Sorry, it was a foam pit that the foam was only about an inch deep. This girl like fell on her ass, hit the concrete, and shattered her tailbone, and had to have multiple surgeries, and I think maybe still be undergoing physical therapy. Like this, like the damage that she suffered, the injury that she suffered was substantial. Yeah, Ariane, that's who it was. I think she may have been temporarily tornado. I do believe through physical therapy, I do believe she's recovered at least some movement. I don't know if there's still any paralysis still lingering about. I do believe that she was able to recover at least somewhat. But that happened at TwitchCon. I don't remember if she was pregnant at the time, Atsunashi. That I don't recall. Because this was like, what, 5 years ago, I think? 5, 7 years ago that this happened? And I still remember it.
At this point. But Asmongold would have a lot to say about this as well in this recent upload titled No Way.
Whoa, well, really, she was pregnant and she lost the baby, Giggle Fingers. Really? That's horrifying. That's fucking horrifying. That because of Twitch's absolute incompetence, this woman lost her child in a miscarriage. Gore, I don't know. That part, I don't know. She didn't know she was pregnant until so she didn't even know she was pregnant at the time. Yeah. That's on Twitch. I'm honestly surprised that she didn't sue them into oblivion for this.
About this as well in this recent upload titled No Way, referring to TwitchCon 2026. And he had a lot to say about many things, including this little bingo card he wants to create for the next TwitchCon.
You can buy merch in your favorite.
So should we do a Polymarket bet right now on whether, like, what's going to happen at TwitchCon? We could do, like, like a different listing. Like, is somebody get shot? Is somebody going to get assaulted? Is something big going to get stolen? Is a VTuber going to get doxxed again? Yeah, like, I mean, I wonder.
Artist. I love Artist Alley.
Broken bones, yeah. Is somebody going to be disabled?
So what he's saying might sound a bit hyperbolic, and of course it's a bit of a joke as well.
Rev just went into chill mode. Rev, this is shocking Rev so much that he literally like did the slowly lifting the glasses, going, home. He did the iced tea thing from War of the Worlds. What? You can't actually see I'm doing that glasses raising thing.
Oh, but it's not really that far off from reality. All of the things he just mentioned, those have happened at recent TwitchCons. Anyone who goes to TwitchCon at this point has no survival instincts whatsoever, especially if you're a woman, because the risks associated with it are much higher if you're a woman. But he makes this list filled with many different things, and you might have paused for a second and said, wait a second, we heard about the essay and all of this stuff, but broken bones? What are we talking about, broken bones? People seem to forget. There was an incident a couple of years ago.
People may seem to forget, but we have not, chat. We will never forget about this.
Where 2 different attendees had serious injuries from the ball pits. That's right, the ball pit was basically, as you can see,
here we go.
A singular layer of these foam pieces, and then underneath that one singular layer was concrete. And people like this, they would go up there and break their back. Yeah, that happened as well. People kind of memory hold that whole situation, but yeah, that happened as well. We haven't. But Asmongold, as one of the top streamers on Twitch, one of the faces of the platform, whether they want to recognize it or not, has made it very explicitly clear, if you care about your safety, do not go to TwitchCon 2026.
I said the same thing.
I don't think they should do TwitchCon anymore. I really don't. No. I don't think that they have the security, and I think that the entire event itself is just it's an event that basically farms parasocial weirdos. Like, if I was this is my honest advice. I'm giving advice like this is to any girl. Do not go to TwitchCon. Don't go.
Yeah.
Just don't. Whatever they say and whatever, and they're going to come out and they're going to say we care a lot about security and all.
Oh, yeah. And they have for the last like 3, 4, God knows how many years. Every fucking year, TwitchCon has been an absolute shit show with people getting hurt or people getting assaulted. Every fucking year, there have been massive problems with TwitchCon. Every fucking year. And every year, I'm thinking of the Lewis Black joke with candy corn. Like, all of a sudden, every year, when TwitchCon comes around, it's like all of a sudden everybody has Alzheimer's, and Twitch goes, we're gonna make sure you're all safe. We're taking steps to make sure that everybody there is safe. They literally say this every fucking year. Every year they go, we're going to make sure everybody's safe. We're not going to make the mistakes. We're making sure we're beefing up security. They say it every fucking year. And like fucking Alzheimer's patients, people go, oh, this is going to be fun. We're going to go to TwitchCon. And then look what happens when they go to TwitchCon. People get assaulted. People get hurt. People get shit stolen. People get doxxed. And that's the tip of the fucking iceberg. It's not going to change. Twitch does not have the capability to make the changes necessary to actually run a safe event. They cannot do it. It is beyond their capabilities as thinking human beings because they're not thinking human beings. Don't go. Do not go. At minimum, women should not go to TwitchCon. But I think people that actually care about their streamers, people that actually care about all this shit that's been happening for years need to boycott TwitchCon and not go. That's how you're going to send a message to Twitch of, we're done. We're done with you. You know, this is how you send the message to Twitch that people are done with the bullshit. Boycott TwitchCon, don't go, and hit them in the wallet. Because that's the only way they're going to listen is if you hit them in the fucking wallet. Hatsune, thank you so much for the tier 3. Thank you so very, very much.
All this and everything. But the truth is that, and there's another component to this as well, which is a lot of like sexual, like people have gotten roofied at TwitchCon. Like, this is a very, like, I mean, streamers, like, it's kind of like an open secret, I guess, but now I guess it's totally open. I'm talking about it. I know other people talked about it, too. People have gotten roofied at TwitchCon parties multiple times.
Yep.
And the thing is...
Now, okay, I gotta say something about that, though. Yes, girls have gotten roofied at Twitch parties. This one, though, I have to do a gimme because Twitch is not responsible for those parties. Those parties happened off the TwitchCon property in like neighboring hotels or rented out apartments. It did not happen at TwitchCon proper. They were off-site. Twitch was not involved in them in any way, shape, or form. As much as we might love to, does it include that? Okay, yeah. Like as much as we would love to, Twitch cannot be blamed for their bad behavior off-site. Now, could Twitch have facilitated punishment for people that did this bad behavior off-site and go, you're banned? Yes, they could have. Absolutely. If there is a Twitch party with streamers and these streamers exhibit bad behavior, like roofing someone, then yes, Twitch could have facilitated bans to those accounts. But as far as blaming them for the existence of the bad behavior at these off-site Twitch parties that just happen to coincide with TwitchCon, as much as we want to, no, we can't blame Twitch for that. That's one thing. Yeah, well, Moose, obviously. But again, this is like Twitch has no authority to facilitate arrest by law enforcement. I'm just talking about as far as Twitch responses for this. I'm putting aside the illegalities and the fact that they should get hooked up and headfirsted into a prison cell. That's totally separate.
That I don't think that they happened at TwitchCon. They didn't happen at the Twitch on the premises, but they happened at like another bar somewhere nearby. Going to these events is dangerous. And if you're a girl, it's 10 times more dangerous.
Yes,
He's
it is.
absolutely 100% correct. Again, if you're going to attend something like this at this point, your survival skills are negative at this point. Also, he mentioned in this as well, there's a bit of an ego check here. A lot of people want to go to these conventions for their ego. They want to show up in a public place and be recognized, and it's a big boost to their ego, and they love the attention like that. But man, it's not worth the risk if you have any concern for your own safety. That is what's going on with TwitchCon. And as he's mentioned, it's not just the event itself.
I don't believe so.
Literal location of TwitchCon. It's everything stemming from it, the parties, the bars, and everything that is hosting people from these events. That's where a lot of stuff happens as well. And Twitch will not be able to guarantee your safety at those events at all. And
not only will Twitch not be able to guarantee your safety, they'll do everything in their power to fuck things up when your safety is endangered and do the exact opposite of helping you. Not only is the safety not guaranteed, if something happens, you can expect Twitch to have the absolute worst response possible because of it. So it's like you're getting it from both ways here on this.
The actual TwitchCon event itself, they've proven they can't handle what's going on. And that has been created from a culture that is tolerated and turned a blind eye to this behavior for what, 10 years at this point? Like, this is not something that happened last year. This stuff's been going on for about a decade now. And now it's getting to a point where any self-respecting person who cares about their safety looks at this event and says, absolutely not.
As they should.
But anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, to any Twitch streamers in the sound that can hear the sound of my voice, don't go to TwitchCon. Don't go. Your safety, your health and safety is far more important. And it's the only way Twitch is going to learn to maybe try and fix things. If they put on TwitchCon and lose boatloads of money because people refuse to show up because they don't feel safe, then maybe they might go, maybe we should actually do something about this so people will actually attend our event. Realistically, though, TwitchCon should just die. They need to just stop until Dan Clancy and everyone in head office and moderation is fired. Until they are all fired, until that entire section is cleaned house, and Amazon brings in people that actually know what the fuck they're doing, there should be no TwitchCon. Get rid of Dan Clancy. Get rid of everybody that works for him. Get rid of the moderation team. Bring in people that actually know how to run a streaming service like this. Have them get Twitch back on track first. Then maybe you can consider doing a TwitchCon. That's it.